So on the podcast this week, one of several things that I'm doing is kind of starting a playthrough of Jackson's Celebrated Irish Tunes, the kind of publication that the gentleman piper Walker Jackson put together towards the end of the 18th century. There's a lot of tunes in here that he calls Jackson's, but not all of them. And so it kind of begs the question, there's so many tunes called Jackson's whatever, which of those tunes were actually written by Jackson and how many weren't. There's a pretty excellent biography of Jackson, short but thorough. It kind of points out that there's another Piper Jackson who wrote some tunes, but also just that there are far more tunes attributed to Jackson than he probably wrote. And so a good example of that is in Jackson's Celebrated Irish Tunes, I think it's the third tune in the book, is called the Figure of Three, which corresponds pretty closely to a tune that O'Farrell has in his pocket companion from probably 1808 called Jackson's Punch Bowl. It's possible that Figure 3 is a tune that Jackson wrote, and maybe there's a Figure 3 in the bottom of his punch bowl and he's trying to commemorate that. But yeah, hard to tell. It seems weird with so many Jackson's tunes having Jackson's fill in the blank after it. I always kind of thought, like, well, maybe that's Jackson's version of the thing rather than it actually being his tune, but I think those are probably his tunes. So anyway, here is what Jackson calls the Figure 3, and O'Farrell calls Jackson's Punch Bowl. O'Farrell's version there's some significant changes, but you can kind of hear some similar strains. One big change is O'Farrell has it as a 4-part jig, and Jackson has it as a 3-part. Anyway, so here is Jackson's Punch Bowl. Squawky at the end. That 4th part is really the kind of standout, not in Figure 3 version. Anyway, cheers. Thanks for listening. Be sure to check out the podcasts. I'm sure there's a link below this video.